It's a privately owned company. My God, wake up. It's just a corporation. But then again, all governments are corporations. And when you find out all governments are in business. And so, many years ago there was a movie called Network, in which Ned Beatty was the head of a network, and he was telling the old man who was a newsman on the network, explaining how life is. You need to go back and watch that movie Network, if you can find it. Because what was said in that movie was the absolute bottom line truth. And Ned Beatty says in there, as the head of the network, he's telling the old man who was the newscaster, he said, the whole world is a business. Governments are corporations. They are owned by private individuals, governments. And all governments are corporations. All corporations have to have presidents, vice presidents, and all human beings on the earth are owned by their respective corporations. That's why you have to have a birth certificate, because it's a certificate of ownership on the stock market in New York. It's a hell of a story. Once you start studying something and do it for 50 years, you will finally wake up one day and find out that the entire planet is going down a mountain with no brakes, and the people have no idea in the world what's going on. Nobody's ever told them anything. They don't learn anything. None of this has anything to do with basketball or football. And so who the hell needs it? I mean, who needs it? Because it doesn't have anything to do with sports. Until, of course, you've got to go to court. Now, if you're going to go to court, now you need to call an attorney. Now you're going to pay for your ignorance. Now you're going to have to pay someone who has studied and who does know how the law works. And so you're going to have to pay them. And if they don't do the job right, you're really going to pay. You're going to jail. And why are you
are so right, my friend.
Well, why are you going to jail? It's because your body is a battery. And when you go into court, somebody is going to pay. So we're talking about commerce, the law of water. That's why we say when you go to court, you're in hot water. You're going to have to pay your debt to society. You're going to have to pay because you're in hot water. And if you don't pay when you're in hot water, somebody's going to have to bail you out because your ship is sinking. Your citizenship is in trouble. They're going to have to bail you out. And so if you don't get bailed out, your biological battery is going to be put in a cell. That's what we call batteries, a cell. So once you understand how the entire world works, and it'll only take you 50 years of study, while everybody else is out on skateboards and having fun at the football games, and then one day after doing all that study, you find out that the entire world doesn't know what the hell you're talking about. It has got nothing to do with football, so who needs it? I'm just amazed at where the world is going, where we've been, where we are, and I know where we're going. And it's not pretty. What's coming next year, you don't want to know. So, I mean, what can I tell you? Say it again?
As usual, you have boggled my mind beyond belief.
Well, I haven't even started. Let me get into the real dark stuff.
We're going to do that on the next hour. But right now, Jeremiah Duncan has a question for you.
Oh, okay. Make it easy.
Hey, Jordan. First of all, I just want to thank you really for taking the time to make an appearance on the show this evening. I'm out for a while just because I'm preparing for my marriage, and Dave's filling in for me. So first of all, I just want to thank you right away.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. So you're getting married, huh? You're getting married.
Well, see, we're doing things a little different. See, both of my grandfathers are half Native American, so we're having a traditional Native American ceremony. And
that's beautiful.
By no means put me under any type of contract or law.
Oh, that's beautiful.
By any prime minister, pope, queen, king, or president.
Yeah.
Right.
That way, the governments and the banking industry in New York will not own your babies.
Thank you very much. And because of your help in my awakenings, I was completely, Dave, we can hear you. I was completely blown away when I see you at Awaken Aware, because that was a surprise to a lot of people, and I had a chance to sit there and talk to you. I don't know if you remember me, but I met Dave and you both when I was there.
Yeah, that was a surprise to me too. I wasn't even supposed to be there. I showed up at the last minute, and there was an opening for a speaker that didn't show up, so I ended up speaking there, and I really had not planned on doing that. I didn't really have much of anything to say. I've got to the point now where I'm invited to speak almost every day around the planet, all over the world, and I don't know what to say. I just turn them down. I turn down speaking engagements every day because I don't know what to say. I mean, normally, like, when I'm talking to other people, I end up talking to myself. So I don't take speaking engagements anymore because I really don't know how to talk to people. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know if it's even of any value to say anything anymore. I just talk to myself mostly.
Well, I'll tell you what. This is what I really have to say is that for me, in the last 3 years, I had a crash course in an awakening process, and what some, like Miriam or some people would call, they have their downloads, okay? Yeah. Somehow, some way in the past 3 years, I've been through this crash course of awakening that's happening, and I know that it's all connected. And personally, coming from my mouth, I have to say that you are like a key to the door, to the light behind the door, where these people that, that don't want to realize what's happening. I mean, religion has got us by the you-know-what,
yep,
and George Carlin said it, it's one big old, group, and you're not part of it, and if you're not part of it, then you have no idea what's going on. And as soon as people realize that they get us by those two things that we worry about more than anything. We worry about speaking in front of people because of what they might think. We worry about getting up in front of crowds and talking, and we worry about death. So what do? They create this religion that tells you you're going to burn and die and go to hell and suffer more and more in pain and anguish and whatever if you don't do what I tell you, because if you talk about it and you find out the truth, then we're going to kill you, or something like this. They keep you in this fear and frustration, and you really are a key to that door to understanding all of that. For all of us who grow up and we just think, wow, there's really something wrong here. I don't understand the whole picture, but I really think something's not right. Something's not going the way it should be. Why am I paying to live on a planet that I was born on? Why am I having to ask, like I said, a pope or a prime minister or a president or a king to ask them if I can go across the border over to the next country when I was born on this planet? Why do I have to have some type of paperwork or contract? When I'm come out of this ground, I'm from here. This is me. All of this is one. It's all of us.
That's exactly right.
This real power structure can come down. The whole thing can fall down when people begin to realize and not worry so much about going to hell or having
that was
backlash.
But that was even shown in the old movies of Dracula. What was it, Dracula, who sucks blood from everybody, and he was a demonic, depraved, blood-sucking demon. But what was the one thing that scared him? And one thing that frightened him more than anything is the sun coming up. If the sun came up and it was shining light on him, he was dead. And so that's the story. So open up the lights of the world and start showing the light to people what's really going on. That's what these Draculas and cockroaches are really frightened of, is for the human race to finally wake up and see what the name of the tune has always been. From day one, for thousands of years, this is the way the trick has always worked, and it's always been in the hands of the masters who own the human race, and the people just crawl on their knees to their movie stars and to their holy men, never realizing for a moment this is a trick. This is a real solid trick, and it works. So you can't badmouth the trick, because it works.